Okay, so I'm Sumi, one of MySQL members in APEC. So today I'd like to discuss about what's new in 8.4. And first of all, thank you for having me in such a good event. But it is the first time to have a presentation in English, even though I stay this for more than 10 years. So I'm really bit nervous, so understand already. So before start my session, let me introduce myself a little bit. So I'm Sumi Ryu, covering South Korea, not North. And yeah, MySQL solution engineer in APEC, Japan and APEC team. And before I started MySQL engineer, first job was LGCNS. You know the LG, right? So that is one of the big company in Korea. They have LGCNS, which is SI company. So that is like against Samsung SDS. After that, that time I started Java developer. I'm starting to use J2EE version 1.0. And then 7 years later, I joined Sun Microsystems 2008. So as a preset, I changed the role. And at that time, some of you remember 2008, Sun Microsystems merged MySQL. So 2009, one of my product was MySQL. So 2011, I joined Oracle and became a dedicated MySQL engineer. Before start what's new in MySQL 8.4, I have to introduce new versioning. This is important. Some of you already knew about it, but some of you don't know. So you saw this one several before session, but I mentioned 8.0 EOL date is 2026. It's only 2 years left. So you have to upgrade 8.0 and prepare to upgrade 8.4. So we recently GA 8.4 LTS version. So I explain about new versioning. We adopt LTS model. So this one is not only MySQL. If you are using Linux, you see this one. So LTS means long-term support release. So this one is only include bug fix, security patch. So that is, if you using 8.0, you can remember some of minor version include very big features. Then they face, some customer face the problem. They cannot roll back to before version. That was backward compatibility. So we want to support backward compatibility. That's why we adopt LTS release. This one, every 2 years, we release major version of LTS. This year, we have first LTS version 8.4. And then you think, what is new features? That new features in innovation release. So this one not only include new features, but bug fix also. But every quarter we release innovation release. So after 3 months, then previous version will be EOL. So that's the difference. And we have already after 8.0, we already have 3 innovation releases, 8.1, 8.2, 8.3. Some of them include like 8.2, we added auto port for router. And 8.4 is LTS. a few weeks ago, we already GA 9.0. And then sometimes we released the 9.7 LTS. Then innovation release will be 10. So you have to understand what LTS. So in my opinion, you have to use LTS version on production. So you cannot upgrade every 3 months, right? Every 3 months, previous version of innovation release will be EOL. So you don't, it's not easy to upgrade every 3 months. So you have to use LTS version for production. But if you want to take test new features, then you can get the innovation release. So let's start our main topic. So I already mentioned previously, previous question. So I told you we changed some default value, not only InnoDB, but the other one also. So some of the small system doesn't fit to 8.0 default value. So I will introduce each by each. The first one is InnoDB pop-up in core file. So some of them we try to fit modern hardware. So nowadays, many hardware support new features on Linux, so we fit to them. So if the system support MADV don't dump, then we can set. So this means I don't know how much big InnoDB pop-up you are using. But in Korean case, some of the big customers are using more than 200 gig. It's that big, right? So sometimes core dump include InnoDB pop-up, then it takes a long time and file should be very big. So that's why we set the default. This one is off. And the other one is InnoDB pop-up instances. This one is previously 8, but some small system, pop-up size is less than 1 GB, then it's too big. This A means that one use like A thread. So that makes affect CPU. So less than 1 G, default should be 1. The other one is we calculate this one as InnoDB pop-up size divide InnoDB pop-up chunk size and divide 2. Or 1/1 of available logical processes. So in Korea, I have a very big customer. They have a big transaction. So they set the pop-up size more than 300 gig. So in that case, chunk size is too big. So they faced some performance degradation. So we recommend to increase the pop-up instances as 64, the max number, and then it should be better than before. So you have to think about how many pop-up instances for your system. And the other one is InnoDB Adaptive Hash Index. Some of you already knew about it. This one is not really effective performance. So most cases we recommend off. So now 8.4 default is off. I explained here, this one only get the benefit on read query that is in full cached. So not many cases you can get the benefit from it. The other one is InnoDB double-light files. We have InnoDB double-light files. So this one is A4.0, we have InnoDB for full instances divided 2, but 8.4, we only set the 2. So this one doesn't affect performance if it is more than 2. So that's why we set the 2 now. And you can see the, if you see the error log file, then you can find the double light buffer files. I captured this one in OGI, MDS. So 8.0, we added error log table in performance schema. So you can select and like double. Then you can see double light buffer files. Now it's 2. And InnoDB flush method. Previously, fsync is default, but on my experience, I recommend O directive since MySQL was 5.5. So some systems support O directive. We usually recommend to set O direct, then fsync. So now most of systems support O direct. So that's why we changed the default value. This means like we are already caching data in InnoDB buffer pool, so we don't have to cache it in system. So that's why this one. The other one is InnoDB capacity, I/O capacity. This one is also fit to modern hardware. So nowadays, I talk to my customer. Most of customers are using SSD. So in that case, previous value is fit to disk. So usually some customer ask me hardware spec for database. Then I ask them, you have to use fast disk, like 10,000 RPM or 50,000 RPM. Then SSD should be better. But nowadays, most of customers are using SSD, and also cloud vendor provide that one too. So we set the default to fit SSD. So 10,000 is default. If you are using disk still, then you have to change this value. 10,000 is too big to disk, so you have to change. And the other one is connected to InnoDB capacity. This max means maximum I/O capacity we can set. So it's 2 multiply InnoDB I/O capacity. InnoDB log buffer size is as for InnoDB log. Before we flush the log to the disk, we save the data in log buffer. So this one previous is 16 MB, but nowadays we have a bigger system, so we changed the 64 MB. Some case I/O is very important. You can increase this number. This one also fit to modern hardware. InnoDB NUMA interleave introduced the 5.7. So I introduced this one to Samsung, but at that time most system doesn't support NUMA architecture. So even though we support this very well, we cannot really use it. But nowadays system supports NUMA, so we can set the NUMA as on as default. So you can check your system support NUMA or not. You can install the NUMA CTL package and type the NUMA-CTL -- hardware, then you can see how many nodes you can NUMA support. Now this one is I have only one OCPU, that's why one nodes, but your system shows how many NUMA nodes you can use it. And next one is InnoDB page cleaner. This one is a thread. So you know the dot page we have. So this thread flush dot page to the disk. So previously we set the for, but A.4 we set the same as InnoDB buffer pool instances. The other one is parallel read thread. All of us know MySQL week of parallel operation, but from A.4 14, we introduced some parallel operations. The first one is this one, clustered index read, parallel clustered index read from A.4 14, and later, like A.4 20 some, we introduced the secondary index read also. So this one is for that one. So previously it's for, but now logical process divide 8, but minimum as 4. Project thread. This one is like a you can see previously we set the, you can see specific number, right? For like that. So if you have a smaller system, you can change this one. And this one is VCPU logical process less than 16, then should be 1. Previously is all 4, but you didn't specify this one in MySQL, I think. So now A.4 more flexible to your system. So as for read IO thread is, we specified read IO thread and write IO thread, right? So read IO thread is previously 4, but A.4 logical process divide to minimum 4. So usually I set the read IO thread bigger than write IO thread. So use fdata sync. Then I'm not a Linux expert, so some of you may better understand than me about fsync and fdata sync. But this one is, some of the system didn't support fdata sync before, but now many systems using support fdata sync. So previous A.4 default value is on. This one I searched and checked. So after sync, we flush all data and metadata, but after data sync, doesn't flush change to file metadata. So you can get some performance benefit from this one. The other one is related to temp table. Temp table is a session variable. So we have a maximum temp table max RAM, previously 1 GB, but nowadays, as I said, my customer, sometimes they are using more than 200 GB, sometimes more than 300 GB. So then it doesn't really fit to that kind of big system. That's why we changed the A.4, 3% of total memory. So that's why that means 1 to 4 GB. You can, below I explained how can we calculate 132 GB memory, then it should be 4 GB. The other one is the same as related to upper variable and temp table max and map. So this one is previous value is 1 GB, but now is 0. This means we adopted this value of 8.4. Previous version is temp table use and map variable is the same. So 0 means temp table use and map equal off in 8.0. This one is important, but not really affected to your system. But if your monitoring system using show master status or show master log, something like that, then you have to keep know about it, because this one we prefer 8.0. When we announced this terminology, like a source and replica, then we introduced a show source status. But when we released the 8.4, we changed the source part, like a binary log. So if you check the show master status, now you have to use show binary log status, and also fuzzy binary log, show binary logs, something like that. So your monitoring system use this kind of command, then you have to change. And start replica side, we introduced 8.0.23, and that time we already introduced the start replica. So you may recognize that one from since when it released. So, but master part, you have to know about it. Also, not only this one, you have to check release note. The bottom size, I write down the link, so you have to check all things, because we removed many command from 8.4. So you have to check it. The other one is, this one is many issue, not only in Korea, I think. So default authentication plugin variable deprecated in 8.0.27 and 8.4 removed. You have to use authentication policy instead of it. And also 8.4, we deprecated MySQL native password authentication plugin as a default. So you have to specify when you start the server. Then, if you don't, you cannot see the MySQL native password plugin in the plugin part. So you cannot use it. So you can do two options. So when you start server, --MySQL password on, or you have to specify -cnf under MySQL this section, MySQL native password on. 8.0, we change it. Before started this one, I already mentioned VGA 8.0, right? You can see 8.0, MySQL native password was deleted. So that means next LTS version, we will delete MySQL native password. So I also recommend a Korean customer, you have to change authentication policy in 8.4. So some of you still keep MySQL native password in 8.0, we changed the default caching shot to algorithm already, but you are still keep because of application side or some reason, right? But when you upgrade 8.4, you have to think about changing default authentication policy. Previously, I explained some of removed terminology. It is the same as that one. So we removed the parameters in MySQL 8.4. So like master and slave. So there are lots of parameters. You have to check. I cannot specify all in this slide, so you have to check here. So all removed parameters are much longer than before, so you have to check. The other one is we talk about client handshake parameter, right? But 8.4, we removed the client set, character set client handshake and skip character set client handshake. So that means you cannot use this kind of workaround in 8.4. So yeah, 8.0 you can use this one and rollback, but you cannot use this one in MySQL 8.4. So you have to keep in mind. And before we talk about upgrade 5.7 to 8.0, I just share some of the Korean case. Naver is a big internet company in Korea. So like Yahoo in Japan. So they are our customer for a long time. And they also upgrade 5.7 to 8.0. They face the same problem as Ryan faced. So I checked all things. You want to roll back 8.0 to 5.7, you have to use keep character set client handshake in my.cnf, and also default UTF-8 MV4 collation, non-900 AICI, general AICI, you have to specify that one. So, and then before section, he mentioned the init, that you have to put that on in my.cnf. So then you can, we do not support 8.0 to 5.7 officially, but I fully understand why customer need that kind of way. So that's why I have my customer, and you can get some idea from it. So I don't have much time, but I quickly cover Korean reference architecture. I'm not a customer. I've been in Korea for a long time to support MySQL. So like 8 years, I'm only one SE in Korea. So I covered many customers, but not customer side. So generally, Korea is the same as yours. Like we have many master-slave application deployment, but in case master system is very important, customer usually set the master redundant using third-party solution like OS cluster or MHA and Oracle Clusterware, like that. So KBank, you set up like KBank is the first direct bank in Korea, not a traditional bank. So they are using MySQL quite a lot now. So like a core bank, they are using Oracle, but side job, they are deployed MySQL on MySQL. The other one is Kakao Bank. That one is the second direct bank in KR, but they are using MySQL more than KBank. So channel means that it's a banking system, 24 hours working. So channel means it connected to bank association system, so they cannot allow downtime. So they get the MySQL data from the Oracle Core Bank and shard the some MySQL systems. And yeah, they are using several things, but usually they capture the binary log and they send the data to the system. The system needs the data. Something like a cleansing work in the Ultra. So that's the system in Korea, but I think most similar to you. And nowadays, InnoDB cluster is popular in Korea. I introduced the customer. I have some references. So it was amazing they are using multi-write mode InnoDB cluster. So yeah, but I had some POC and customer cases, and I pretty confident to use InnoDB cluster. So if you need HA for MySQL, please think about InnoDB cluster. I think it's all from my slide. So do you have any question about my session?